please help me with this problem that I'm having.
What is the problem that you're having?
Every day that I go home, I notice that I just see the same thing over and over again. You know, I go downstairs and I just see the empty bowl of cereal with the cold milk. I just don't understand it. You know, I pass by the same rooms every day
And?
I mean, I hold tight to these pillows. These cold pillows. Doc, are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you.
I mean, these cold pillows, you don't understand. And when I hear the car ignition start up, I just get so lonely and so frustrated. What am I to do?
I have no... Sorry, I'm breaking out of character, Rod.
No, I'm not Rod. I'm not Rod. I'm some random person coming to you with my
being
problems who sees these cereal bowls.
I know you see these cereal bowls and you struggle with these cereal bowls. I mean, you look at these empty cereal bowls and you see an empty life.
Exactly. It's just when I go by and I see the remote controllers just laying there, I just want to go in and destroy them. Every part of them. I want to destroy the what is the PS3 player? What is it called?
Oh, an Xbox?
The Xbox, yes.
Oh, the Xbox, okay.
That's what's taking my life.
That's what's making a distance between you and your significant other, huh?
You said it.
And here we have our guest caller.
Hello,
Brian? Hold on a second. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with me today is Mr. Bryant Gomez. I'm going to bring him on the phone here in just a minute.
You didn't even end our soap opera, Kim.
Sorry, Rod. We're just going to have to cut it right there. And
ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll continue the soap opera.
We'll indulge you with the other half.
Thank you.
All righty. Hold on. I am now struggling to find my...
That's because we're supposed to finish our soap opera.
Rod, you are testing me now.
It's because I love you.
I love you too, Rod. Love you too, man. Okay. On the air, we have Mr. Bryant Gomez from the New Mexico Tech TRiO Upward Bound program. Mr. Bryant Gomez is the coordinator for this program. He is a graduate of the University of New Mexico School of Business, and he is also he's an avid video gamer. So if you like to play video games, this is your guy right here. So this is the play was about. Yes. Okay, it was about Bryant
competing with my love.
Oh, got it. All right. So Bryant, welcome to the program.
Hey, thanks guys for having me over.
So listen, we were just kind of going back and forth. Rod and I. Rod was an avid gamer back in the 90s as well. I mean, he remembers Street Fighter and all that. What sort of video games are you into?
So I guess you're pushing me back on this one too. So I was totally an original Zelda gamer. So that shoebox on the Super Nintendo.
Brian, would you be upset if I said I wasn't a fan of Zelda?
Oh, don't listen to him.
I'm just saying, the whole square movements going from box to box.
He does not understand the complexities behind a nice role-playing game.
Enlighten me.
Well, all I'm saying is that little box represented a link to the player. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
That's all I'm saying. Okay. So, Bryant, and so you began working at New Mexico Tech with the TRiO Upward Bound program, and before that, you got your bachelor's degree at the University of New Mexico. How was your experience at the University of New Mexico as an undergrad student?
As an undergrad, I guess well-rounded. I like to say.
Well-rounded.
Before I started, actually, the summer transitioning the senior year over to freshman year of college, I was working for a nonprofit as an intern. So I started working in the community at a very young age, actually, about 16. And once I moved out here from LA, I started getting myself involved in the community. Oh yeah, man.
Boy. Oh yes. Well, Bryant, I'd like to just let you know I'm also from Los Angeles. Born
Cool.
in Los Angeles, California. And then my my dad's job moved us around. But
Brian, are you a LA Lakers fan by chance?
I don't even know if I should answer that because he just said it with hesitation.
I know. Well, he said that with a little bit of animosity, didn't he?
Yeah, just a little bit. I was like, I'm assuming you're a Heat fan.
Saying, there's this colleague of mine that happens to be a Lakers fan that works in our office, and he's an avid follower of the LA Lakers. And
I just have some passionate discussions with our students about Lakers. I mean, when they say that the Bulls are better, I mean,
Brian, I have to pull him off of my students sometime because he apparently lacks temperance.
No, I do not like it. No, that is not it at all.
Okay.
So, Bryant, if you'd like to answer the question, do you have a favorite NBA team or favorite sports team?
You know what? I'm a classic LA boy, so everything but football, I'm all LA.
Nice.
I'm a Dodger fan, I'm a Lakers fan, I'm a Kings fan.
It's a sad day for Dallas, New Mexico, ladies and gentlemen.
Bryant, I'm an all LA fan, except when it comes to football. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan.
I'm a Green Bay Packers fan.
Yeah. Oh, you're a Packers fan?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, I won't rag on you too much because my wife is a Packers fan, so I won't go there. So, you are a coordinator for the New Mexico Tech Upward Bound program.
Yeah.
About how many students do you serve there?
We serve 50 students in our
50
program.
students in all. Wow.
Yep.
New Mexico Tech is located in Socorro, New Mexico. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And the population that's there, can you kind of walk us through a little bit of what the population is like there?
Well, actually, I could give you kind of a weird two-angle side to that. The reason why is because my office base is actually located in Albuquerque. I don't spend too much time in Socorro, but being kind of like the outsider, it was kind of neat to see a campus that is really embedded in a very small rural community, which kind of helps out in two different ways. I mean, one, really buckling down and getting your academics on, so having time to really sit in a natural setting with trees and the great open grass area. Unless you're looking for kind of a rural farm-like, you could literally go across the bridge and end up in a lot of the ranchos that are on the other side of the highway, and just kind of take some time to really enjoy the environment, make it your own for studying. As to me here in Albuquerque, I'm kind of in my little cubicle, enjoying my time here in Albuquerque and helping my students out here.
Oh, that's fantastic. Just a second. Rod has a question for you.
Mr. Bryant, just to digress for one moment. So we understand that you have a bachelor's degree in business administration. So we just want to know, why business administration?
Because everybody else did it.
Hey, I mean, sometimes the crowd can't be wrong, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, actually, believe it or not, I've been in this kind of like community orientation, access to higher education, social justice to the youth community since I was 16. But business to me was a very unique, the way I've always seen it and always will see it, as a very unique platform to work kind of the disparities that I see in my youth community. All the kids from the ages of, 8 all the way up to 25, and seeing how the principles and theories we have in carrying business actually help in one furthering develop the individual, how to really solidify a group to focus on goals and reaching benchmarks, and most definitely how to continue and connect community with markets to actually do two sides. One, serve the community and the benefits of what the market is going to do, and the other side is to shape the market to the benefit of the community. So I started looking at that kind of format and started seeing, well, being the LA kid, I always wondered what my city used to be. And Albuquerque, Las Cruces, Socorro, even down to like Tucumcari, I see the development of economies and seeing how that shapes the community. And I figured, you know what, New Mexico is a beautiful place to actually see and study that. Okay. So once I started thinking about my community, how I started looking at the youth community and what the implication has and the opportunity that New Mexico had, I figured, you know what, this is a great place to study that. And that's how I take it. I'm a very nerdy guy. I'm the only weirdo with a nerd background in like computer science and STEM and in business school, and it was just kind of like, all right, cool. Well, I'm unique in that sense, and I've always wanted and always focused on my goals on that one in my studies.
But just as a follow-up, for some of our listeners out there who want to pursue their own business or would like to run their own business, is there one thing you would like to share with those individuals that you learned in your experiences?
Yeah. Let's see. How could I put this together? Not to be cliche, but literally in business school, or if you're interested in business, don't give up. Because that's the thing. A lot of people just fizzle out, burn out, and it's because of all these other forces around you, either being personal, family telling you one thing, or even the market itself telling you can't do it at this time. But if you know you got one great idea, if you know you got one thing you wanted to do, and it be it business or anything, you can't give that up. You've got to keep going, and for business it's critical, because that'll make you a difference between being one device and being another. So.
And I think that's great advice with encouraging students not to give up. I know that a lot of students get discouraged when they hear, well, the job market is not very viable for either fashion design or some of the other kind of decreasing fields. But if they hear that if they can truly bring a new idea and be revolutionary, that they really shouldn't give up on themselves. So that's great advice.
That was
definitely.
so good. We may just have you to restate that at the end of the show.
Yeah, we might have to do that.
Not a problem.
So, Bryant, with you being as the coordinator of the Upward Bound program, what responsibilities do you find yourself taking as far as preparing the students for college?
So for preparing students for college, it is very, kind of like I said, I'm very detail-oriented. It is all depending on your grade. So 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, there are different degrees of focus that I work with these students with and servicing them in different aspects, be it class intervention. If someone's slipping off in certain classes, we come on in and we coordinate an opportunity to make sure they pass that out. Even if something happens with an SBA, being that's our new state requirement of passing SBA to get a high school diploma, we want to make sure that we're tracking those types of issues and creating opportunities, be it intervention during school hours, after school hours, even our Saturday meetings, to support those kids. So like I said, it's a different degrees depending on each grade because of how our entire state now is operating based on those standards and based on the benchmarks that they need to reach. So we can focus more on, like, say, by the time you get from junior year to senior, you have to make sure you're covered on your SBAs.
Yeah.
By the time you get to senior, we're going to be hammering you guys on ACT, on preparation, on making sure you get your final scores together for the first fall semester, and then moving into spring, and helping out in the scholarship search. So, like I said, different degrees. Ninth graders kind of have a little easy.
Yeah, they do.
But we try to shake them off in the way of, like, well, let's pay attention. Let's make sure you're on the right track.
Right.
Because in the summer we get very intensive in, helping them out during our 6-week program. So.
Okay. And that really speaks to the experience. I mean, for us, being here at the ENMU Upward Bound program, I know that the assumption with a lot of people is all Upward Bound programs are the same. And really, fundamentally, they're all different because they're really different.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, can you highlight some of the, I don't know how many programs you're familiar with, but can you highlight some of the few unique aspects to your program?
Yeah, definitely. So, kind of like writing on the question before about my business aspect. I specialize in training and development. So that's the cool thing about what I've been able to do with our program is actually doing this thing that HR and incorporations ask for, which is the Individual Development Plan, or IDP for short. And what that helps out is actually gears a person's development in a sense of goal orientation. So asking them what they want to do in, say, in the next 3 to 6 months, 6 to 1 year, or even up to the 2-year marker.
So,
how we do that individually is that we're able to give them this form that we help develop with, concepts that I've learned in business, but also from all my experience in the community, by asking the right question to see where the students want to go and orient them that way. Helps us kind of gather a whole bunch of information in the sense of, like, what is it that they really want to learn? What is it that they're really interested in doing? And how are they doing kind of socially in their environment, to see how those three aspects really help endearing, one, our workshops, and two, our Saturday stuff, and three, how to successfully push forward in their progression.
All right, right on.
Brian, I'm interested in how you all use the Common Core with teaching the SBAs and some of the other things you guys are. I'm sure your grant is held to provide to the students. How do you feel about the idea of the Common Core?
Well, I should believe it or not, before I was working here at TRiO, I was working at a middle school where we were doing that transition. So the Common Core is unique in a sense of where it's weird. It's dense in a way where it kind of reflects your freshman year in college, where it's just kind of like it's basic understanding of your reading capacity and doing all this other stuff. So it doesn't take too much like for what the state standards were in New Mexico about a year or two ago. The Common Core being that we're all set up in one kind of like federal stance, and this is how you're supposed to be metered at. Triggering those have made it slightly difficult, just because teachers are just adjusting to it, and if the teachers are not there yet, or the new teachers, our students are kind of going to have that weird mesh up of like testing the teacher out if you already had ever a substitute.
Brian, if I can park you for one moment, could you share with the audience what the Common Core is? Just a brief synopsis of what the Common Core is. I'm sorry, I should have done that before.
No, that's all right. So, from my understanding, and you guys could totally help me kind of get that together. My understanding, the Common Core is now a standard, our standards that our students will go through and meet and reach based on now what federal regulation, I believe. This is where all our students now are going to be measured. So instead of having like weird hiccups, like for example me, where I came from California, New Mexico in my senior year, they're sharing standards that I didn't meet that I have to take courses of. The Common Core kind of helps the student out in that sense, where I was taught exactly what I was supposed to be taught at a certain age or grade, and could go anywhere in the nation and not have to worry about missing a grade or dropping out or being added to that statistic. Now that's how I understand it.
And I believe that's a very accurate interpretation, that essentially the education across the country have tried to streamline the system so that no matter where you move, you get the same quality of education. We're not there yet, let me say.
Yeah, it's still a work in progress, absolutely.
Thank you for explaining that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick music break. We will have more with Mr. Bryant Gomez with the New Mexico Tech TRiO Upward Bound program. Bryant, we'll speak to you here in just a minute.
All right, then.
All right. All right, so folks, I have Green Day on deck with When I Come Around, and Mr. Chambers will then play his selection of music, and we will return shortly. So please keep it tuned here at Hound Waves. Let's Talk TRiO.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Anita Baker giving you the best that I got. I know that I said that I was feeling kind of 90s, but something just reached back and I had to go 80s. And incidentally, Anita Baker is from Detroit as well. Of course, we all know that Detroit is Motown music mecca, and we got to give it up for Detroit. Before that, you were hearing Green Day from their 1990s album. See, DJ JMR was feeling 90s.
I was feeling some 90s,
90s. And I believe that was from the album Dookie. I could be very wrong, but that song was When I Come Around. Back to you, DJ JMR.
Thank you very much, Rod, for that lovely, lovely callback. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Talk TRiO on Hound Waves College Radio. I do have Mr. Bryant Gomez talking to us about the TRiO Upward Bound program in New Mexico Tech. So, Bryant, we're going back to the interview questions. I hope we're not putting you too much on the spot.
No, it's all good.
Fantastic. So I think you have the next. My bad. I have the next set of questions, and I just announced that error online. I'm so sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. They know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Brian, what I wanted to ask is, at the beginning of the program, you said you worked for a nonprofit program. Can you? I didn't think I caught the name of that. Could you go over that name of the nonprofit?
Yeah. So the nonprofit I used to work for when I first started, kind of in New Mexico, was the New Mexico Forum for Youth and Community. I worked as an intern with them. I was considered a summer associates with the AmeriCorps Visto Cadre project.
All right, fantastic. So it was associated with AmeriCorps.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, fantastic. Now, a lot of the things that you do for Upward Bound, it involves education. Have you always seen yourself as an educator?
Everyone has asked me that. Yeah, no, not really. Actually, I just like to. I don't think an educator, but a storyteller, or at least an innovator, definitely be considered.
Like
but I don't know about teacher.
Well, speaking of your work experience with TRiO, how long have you worked with TRiO?
Honestly, about a month and a half, almost 2.
Okay. So you're brand new.
Oh, I am fresh out the box.
You got the water behind the ears, man. One, get us a towel. We got to wipe that water from behind us.
Yeah, we got to get that. Yep.
Hey, if you guys want to throw in a radio orientation for me, I'm great with that.
Hey,
man,
awesome.
You're stellar, man.
You're doing fantastic, Bryant. So you're doing awesome for us. I want to ask you a question, and I think this is going to be more on your opinion. I know you're just 2 months into TRiO. Do you find that some, most, or all of your students are underprepared for college?
Yeah, see, that one's interesting. So working with TRiO, I've seen what we're about. I've seen what we're trying to get to. From my experience working with youth and seeing how they've moved along, it's kind of weird. I would say they're like underprepared and overstated. I don't know if that kind of is confusing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, Rod.
Yeah, I think for me it's that we're underprepared in the sense of like understanding what college is and the access to it, and kind of having this mystified mythology that it's this epic journey. And we're really not prepared. But we're completely, overstated because I'm from that generation. I'm the class of 2007, so I had this entire 96 all the way up to 2007, call of action that graduate high school, graduate college, you're going to get a great job. Mm-hmm. That took a while. That took a long while, and that was kind of based on our time in the economy, our time, even politically, that it just became an uncertainty. So saying that, it's kind of like weird because you see this now next generation of graduates. Not sure. I mean, we're kind of sitting around thinking, well, is it really worth it now? I mean, for me, I'm the oldest of 4 siblings, and they even ask me, it's like, how are you doing with a job? Are you going to be all right? Like, even my little brother asked me, was college really worth it? And that's kind of sad for an 8th grader to ask me that. It's like, I wanted to be the one kid to be like, dude, college is great, get going. And they're just seeing all this that, for them, it's like, they don't understand what college could really mean for them, and particularly for the experience and the knowledge that it gained. So for me, I'm just kind of saddened by that. But I know with TRiO and what we're supposed to do, it's really exciting. I was at UNM at the McNair conference this past weekend, and I was really stoked about a lot of these kids and what we're able to do as support and agencies to really help these kids go along with their, undergrad and postgrad. That I'm like, all right, great. I'll get them set up. I'll let the rest of the TRiO programs out there to help them out through the college career and follow them through.
Brian, I want to capitalize on the fact that you are a TRiO neophyte. And I think that you bring a very different perspective considering the political climate that we are faced with right now, and TRiO programs have been faced with for decades after decades. You being a new person, what do you feel, or how do you see the need for TRiO programs?
Honestly,
be honest.
I've told a bunch of kids about like what I'm up to, like the seniors I still hang out with that like ask me to help them out with their college stuff. Even mid schoolers that I still keep in contact after leaving the job I was prior. Even people I graduated with and from the class of 2010 from UNM, they were like, dude, you could do that in high school? And I was like, yeah. So I was like, if there was so much more awareness and seeing that, dude, there's programs out there that literally follow you through high school so you can go to college and know what it felt like and be ready and, like, get all that support. I mean, honestly, if I had that, I would have, like, finished a whole lot earlier and a whole lot way more prepared for, like, even post-grad. So I for me, was, like, learning about what we're doing, it's like, where was I? Or where were you guys when I walked in the door?
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to add that we did not pay Mr. Bryant to share with what he shared.
He is not paid yet. This is completely voluntary. We're not twisting his arm.
No, right?
Okay, well, thank you, Bryant. I have the next question. One of the things about Upward Bound is, as you mentioned, the connection that you form with a lot of your seniors, even with the underclassmen. Does New Mexico Tech Upward Bound have a strong connection with the high school administrators? Not only with the high school students, but with the high school administrators?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, from I got one person on text level now. Yeah, so from different mediums of communication. I mean, from phone calls to their offices, faxes, emails, the occasional Facebook checkup. But even for me, which is important for me, is the face-to-face interaction. Right. I'm actually out there meeting up with administrators at least twice a month. I mean, just to sit down, meet with them, talk about how our students are doing academically, and any advice that they may have, because they work internally in the school. I mean, I'm not at their schools, 8 hours a day, so I would like to know what they have in mind and what they're doing to support all the grades, and particularly my seniors, about how, or if they have any, like, FAFSA after-school training or anything like that. So, yeah, we're in constant contact.
Okay, fantastic.
What obstacles do you face, if there's any obstacles, as it relates to contacting some of the school administrators?
Usually how busy they are, in a sense of, like, where they are in the school year. So I know usually the beginning of the school year, they're like, no contact. Right before holidays, they are gone. And even when it comes down to the seniors, I know for sure, like, by April, they're, like, already busting their heads and making sure their seniors graduate. Right. So I've been able to at least, find myself in a pocket of time to really study that and seeing where they are in high demand for, like, the community and their students. So that way I can find myself in pockets where I'm like, all right, cool, we can talk this date, this date, this date. And I want to make sure we spend at least an hour to talk about how our students are doing and moving forward.
Brian sounds like he's done his homework and he studies his prey to make sure that he gets them.
Brian,
I get them real quick.
Any Bonic terms, you're doing your thing.
I'm doing it 24/7, so I hope we can hear it pretty well.
We definitely applaud you because not that we know anything about
we don't know anything. What challenges?
Trying to contact administrators, and we don't know anything about that. But we must applaud your efforts.
Absolutely.
For going out there, man, and getting in the fight and staying consistent and committed.
Absolutely.
Hey, you guys have a radio station. I think that's the last medium I have left for communication. So I'm dotting every possible X.
Go for it, man.
All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take another brief musical break. We're going to allow our guest to catch his breath, get a little sip of water, and we are going to be right back. Right now I have on deck for you a song. Hold on, let me find it. Let me make sure it's the correct one.
Are you bringing me back to the 70s or 60s?
Catch up with you. I'm sorry?
Are you bringing me back to the 60s or 70s? You guys are going in that direction.
I was thinking of House of the Rising Sun might be a nice one to play. I don't know.
Okay,
do you think that would be good?
Oh, no, that's good right there.
All right.
Now, Brian, don't be hating on my 80s and my 90s now.
Hey, you're taking it back, not me.
I may take it back a little further. Be prepared.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is House of the Rising Sun. Bryant, we will talk to you here in just a minute.
See you in a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could have saw me in here giving you a live concert and a reenactment of...
I had the pleasure of sitting through that concert.
Woo! That was Fantasia. Lose to Win Again. She performed that live on the 12th season of American Idol this year. There was a hint of old school, new school. That background was from the Commodores. I can't remember what song from the 80s, but we had a bit of the 80s with the new from 2013. And then Mr. DJ JMR took it all the way back to 1964 with House of Rising Sun by the Animals. Back to you,
Nice.
DJ
Well, thank you very
JMR.
much, DJ Brother Rod. Thank you so much, you all, for joining us here at Let's Talk Trio. We are going to bring back Mr. Bryant Gomez from the New Mexico Tech TRiO Upward Bound program. Now, Bryant, we're going to wrap up our interview here, so I hope these last 3 questions won't be too hard on you.
No, okay.
Okay. So the questions here that I have, that I managed to always lose in the Windows program. Oh my goodness. Sorry. How do you find parent involvement in the Upward Bound program? Do you host events that engage the parents?
Yes, actually. So our events are very kind of open in a sense of like our dialogue, our participation, in a sense of where we have everybody kind of involved in like group dynamics and group discussions. So, you know, when we have parents come along, we love to have to hear their like inputs and whatnot. Right now, we're currently like shaking things up in the audience kind of side of training and workshops, where we could actually separate both the youth and the adults and have similar workshops happen. But at the end of them, we could actually have it open and have like activities and open discussions. That way, both groups understand the at least the language and the communication of the content, and then they both can apply it and see how that works out, and kind of create that community in a sense between, you know, the parents and the students.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. And Rod has the final question. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't have the final question.
Is Kobe the best? Yes, he is.
Yes, I feel it, Brian. I don't think Rod knows that.
Well, Mr. Bryant, I'm going to indulge DJ JMR. You know, I was having difficulty saying DJ JMR, and I just figured out why, because the J and then the J for JMR. That's just my feeling right now.
Oh.
Whatever. Mr. Bryant, my question is, I'm going to put a little twist on this. Now that I've discovered that you've been with TRiO for about 2 to 3 months, I'm not going to be presumptuous to say that you haven't really established a good memory with Upward Bound, because I'm sure that you have. But if I can ask a 2-part question and say, what is the most memorable moment thus far, and what is the most memorable moment that you would like to create before you depart from Upward Bound or your TRiO experience? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. No worries. Let's see. So my memorable moment so far, my first day at the job. I mean, that's been pretty cool, because I have to actually meet the entire cohort, and they were figuring me out, but they kind of started realizing I'm kind of weird enough to actually hang out with them. So that was kind of a real neat introduction. What I'm hoping, honestly, just see them graduate and simply not thank me. I want them to reflect on their accomplishment in the sense of where we helped them, yeah. We supported them. We were able to guide them to the path that is theirs. I mean, that cannot be a greater accomplishment for me. For them to feel that they have done something that no one else can. They have done something that no one else ever thought they could do, and it was under their call. As much as we were there to help them out, we're there to do everything we can, but they're the ones that have to go into school. They're the ones that have to talk to these teachers first, and we're going to be there to back them up.
Yes, sir. Well, before Mr. DJ JMR gets the mic back in his hands, I just want to say how much of a pleasure it was to meet you and how awesome the interview has gone thus far, man. We hope to have you back on the show at some point, man. Take care, and in the words of, what's our brother, man, from Toy Story? The astronaut guy. To infinity and beyond.
Buzz Lightyear.
Buzz Lightyear. In the words of Bud Lightyear, Buzz Lightyear. Don't write me up.
Hey, no.
Buzz Lightyear, he would say, to infinity and beyond. How about that, Bryant?
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. You have no idea.
Awesome. Well, Bryant, I want to just thank you so much for being in this program. You've really made this a very enjoyable interview. We enjoyed having you on the program. Like Rod said, we hope to have you in future programs.
Well, yeah, no, anytime. Give me a call. I'm out here in Albuquerque. If you need me to come on the east side, let me know.
Absolutely, sir. All right. Well, Bryant, you have a wonderful evening, and we will catch up with you later, sir. Thank you.
Hey, you too. Good luck out there.
Bye-bye. All right, Rod, that interview was just awesome.
DJ JMR, I just have to brag a little bit because, you just, let me see. In the words of Rihanna, everyone's favorite pop artist, she has a song that says, "Shine bright like a diamond." Yeah. And you would remember this song because on the way back from New Orleans last year,
yes,
I emphasized the lyrics of this song.
Shine bright like a diamond.
That's right.
Yes.
You have all the proper gestures when you articulate that. I would just like to say, you shine bright like a diamond. I enjoyed having this conversation with you, with our guest, and he's my boss here, guys.
This is kind of an odd dynamic because Rod is in actuality, my boss in the Upward Bound program. But now that we're in this role, in the radio role, Rod is a wonderful co-host, and you step up my game, sir. So we're both growing here in this radio program.
I enjoy it, and I couldn't have asked for a better boss. Now, Dr. Hazen, I do appreciate you being my boss. I do, but in this realm, in this environment, I'm appreciative of my boss, DJ JMR.
Rod, you're just awesome. Thank you so much for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the top of the hour. We are now taking TRiO testimonials. Call in at 575-562-4083. In the meantime, Rod and I will probably be discussing a couple topics affecting TRiO right now. We are on week 1 of the government shutdown. That might be a topic that comes up. So let's keep our seatbelts tightened. Right now, I do want to dedicate a song to my brother in Las Cruces, Luis Rivas, who is listening over there in New Mexico State. Luis, thank you very much for tuning in. You'd requested "Club to Death" by the Matrix soundtrack, so I'm playing that for you, man. And he's requested this song for all college students.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you were just listening to old school 90s rapper A+ in All I See. And before that, you were hearing
"Club to Death" by the Matrix soundtrack, requested by my brother Luis over in Las Cruces.
All right, Mr. Rivas, is there any way you can find me a little ambience in the background as I
think I can accomplish that. Give me.
While Mr. DJ JMR
I'm usually really good about this.
Some music. We're going to take these next few moments before we dive into more heavier topics.
Now, do you want like a nice upbeat?
Sure.
Or do you want something, I don't know.
Well, this is going to be fun facts, so I need something festive. I need something upbeat. Whatever you have on the playlist, just give it to me.
Okay.
I've already kind of spoiled what I was about to tell you, but we're going to have our fun facts for the day.
Nice.
Yeah, so as soon as my music gets started.
Okay, well, just a minute. I will have that for you in just a minute.
Well, in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get started with our first question, Ms. Rivas. If you yelled, did you know this? If you yelled for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, you would have produced enough sound energy to heat 1 cup of what?
A cup of coffee?
You got it! A cup of coffee!
Nice!
Yes. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
So there is some benefit to yelling. It produces heat. So when you get cold, because we're approaching the fall, it already kind of feel like it's winter. But if you find yourself getting cold, you should just yell for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days.
There you go.
Does that work?
That works for me.
Okay,
you can't hear it right now, but there is music playing right now. So you can't hear it, but
I believe
it.
Okay. I believe it.
Okay.
So next, the strongest muscle in proportion to its size in the human body is what? You did not know that.
In proportion to the size of the human body.
I'll repeat that. The strongest muscle in proportion to its size in the human body is the
the tongue?
Whatever, you read this.
No, I didn't.
Yes, it's a tongue.
It's
You
the
did
tongue?
read it.
No way.
You did.
No, I was just
You
a
read-
guess.
yes,
That
you
was
did.
just a
That's
guess.
why you
No,
stuck over
Rod.
here.
Oh, really?
Anyway, on to the next. On to the next. Every time you lick a stamp, you're consuming how many calories?
Oh, interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
25 calories? No?
Craig. Craig.
Wow. Calories. I would assume. Well, if it's a small stamp and you've, less than one.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're counting calories, you may want to think about this. You are actually consuming 1/10 of a calorie.
What? That is crazy. 1/10 of a calorie
Oh, we'll
on a
take
stamp.
Just a few more, DJ.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do this all day if you'd like.
All right. So banging your head against a wall uses how many calories an hour?
Bang your own head against the wall.
See,
It uses how many calories?
in 1 hour.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that I don't know. 5?
No.
No. 10.
How about 150?
150? Oh, you're kidding me. Now you're making up numbers.
No. 150 calories. So let's play with this idea. So, if for whatever reason, you are feeling quite lethargic, and you're saying, you know what? My New Year's resolution didn't go too well. I didn't work out all this year. We're in the 10th month of the year. And you know what? I didn't meet any of my goals as it relates to me losing weight. Got your solution. Ask
There's
me what it is.
banging your head against the wall.
Bang
That is, wow.
Bang your head against the wall.
Wouldn't you get a sore neck? I mean, I would wake up with a creak in my neck, I think.
That may be true. However, we're not talking about all of the do's and don'ts.
We're not talking about the consequences. We're just saying
we're not.
you can lose weight potentially using this
we're
method.
just
Okay,
highlighting
got
the
you.
fact that you can burn calories if you just bang your head up against the wall at least for 1 hour.
All right.
I mean, I'm just guessing you as a parent. Sometimes you just want to bang your head against the
So
wall.
hey, I probably lost a couple pounds doing that. You know?
We'll take a few more. All right, a person cannot taste food unless it is mixed with saliva.
What?
Yes. So, for example, if strong tasting substance like salt is placed on a dry tongue, the taste buds will not be able to taste it.
No. What?
As soon as a drop of saliva is added and the salt is dissolved, however, a definite taste sensation results. This is true for all foods.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So, if you have a dry mouth and you're lacking a little saliva, you should, wait a minute. So this could work. I mean, this could work for some of the college kids who are experiencing a level of poverty. You know, they don't have a lot to eat.
Well, I hear that ramen noodles around college is really popular. That's the popular consumption. You know.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what if they don't have them to buy noodles? Ramen noodles.
Oh.
Ramen noodles. What if they don't have enough? So I'm just offering a solution.
I got it.
Okay, like get completely, let your mouth just dry out, just dehydrate all the way, and go outside, pick you up a nice juicy rock and some dirt, mix it together, bam, and you can imagine that it tastes like
Ramen noodles.
Well, I mean, no, if they're gonna imagine, they should imagine something more
like steak.
high quality, a steak,
Filet mignon.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
You want one more?
Yeah, let's keep going at this.
One more, just one more. Let's see here. Your stomach has to produce a new layer of mucus every 2 weeks. Otherwise, it will do what?
Not digest properly.
You are almost there.
Halfway right.
In fact, it will digest itself.
What? Wow, that is just a weird. What?
Okay, I'm not gonna even try to think about that one.
Yeah, that just.
More
I just finished eating Carl's Jr. before I came here, Rod.
Yeah.
So I shudder to think.
Okay, we'll back away from that.
All right.
So back to you, DJ, JMR, or whatever you want to discuss about this this circus.
All right. Oh, so the circus going on in Congress right now. The whole government shutdown. We've been asked several questions. Our students have been asking, how does that affect them and how does it affect the program? They're all very valid questions. Right now, the status of the U.S. Department of Ed and the Council of Opportunity Education is we're continuing as business as usual.
Yes.
So all services continue with Upward Bound. We are still here. It doesn't look like we're going anywhere, I hope.
Well, I do need to add, yes, we are still here. However, this is not the time to sit down, per se. We still have to fight, and we still have to talk about TRiO and talk about how TRiO works. Let's not be up under any...
But, Rod, here... I think the good people have done enough fighting for a week. So, do you think now is a good time just to back off and
no,
take no,
not at all.
No, not at all.
Not at all. We need to capitalize on this moment. Yet, it's unfortunate. It's a situation that I'm sure if you ask those individuals who are working for federally funded programs or federally funded institutions, I'm sure they would have a strong opinion about what's going on right now. However, for a political strategy and for us to really maximize our time right now as TRiO supporters, we need to fight even harder. Because we need to make sure when they return to their desks, to their offices, to the floor, wherever, the first thing that they need to see is TRiO programs representing, TRiO programs giving a voice to the situations that we are in, which those situations, some of the situations will continue to be cut.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not remember, Congress did enact a self-imposed sequester. This sequester is supposed to impact programs for TRiO every single year. They do not come up with a budget. The sequester will take about 5% annually, and it'll continue to do so. Even
minimum, I should add.
A minimum of 5%.
It fluctuates, let me say that.
Right. So TRiO programs are truly in danger. We are needing your support, your help, to call your representatives, your senators. President Obama, you do have his direct line somewhere listed on the whitehouse.gov website. Even if you get his office aides or somebody, just leave a message telling them, please fight for TRiO.
Can we post that contact number?
I believe, absolutely. It'll be posted on our Facebook page. We do have a Facebook page on Let's Talk TRiO. We will have all that information posted, as well as where you can find your representatives and senators to give them a call.
Now, in the short minutes that we have, we should talk about the first time that we contacted the White House. I mean,
absolutely, Rod. I love this story.
That was a remarkable moment.
Absolutely.
I should add DJ JM on. That was remarkable.
We were floored.
We just, when we made the first phone call, now this was only 3 years ago.
Approximately
3 years ago that we made the phone call.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but we were, 27 at the time?
I think so. Yeah, 27. 27 sounds all right. Yeah.
Now, for some in this country, they probably went to the White House when they were young, little children.
Either they went inside or they took a nice outside tour of it. Yeah.
That was not a luxury that all of us has had or been afforded to take advantage of. Mm-hmm. And to even think about calling the White House was like, for whatever reason.
Rod, are you going to call them to waste their time?
Exactly.
On their penny, you're going to call the White House.
I'm just saying, I was a bit intimidated. I didn't know what to say, who to say. If the COE did not provide us a script per se, talking points, etc., then I wouldn't have known what to do and how to do it. I didn't even know if I could press the numbers on the phone.
Right.
But once we made that first phone call and say, listen, TRiO works, and we would love for you to send this message to our president, Mr. Obama. That was just like, boom. Again, remarkable. That was boom. That was booyah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how did you feel when you made that first
Rod,
phone call?
when I remember the email stating that TRiO needs support from not only its staff, its students, and all the parents, one of the first thoughts I was like, well, we need to call. I'm not quite sure what we're going to say. This is the White House after all. And, they could just very well just hang up on me. Who am I to call them? And as soon as we got on the line with the office aide, and left a message, and she said, "We'll make sure Mr. Obama gets this message." I was floored. I was floored. I can't describe the feeling. I've been to the White House before. I was on the outside, and I just remember the prestige, the aura coming off of it. And now with the phone call and being told that Mr. Obama will get this message, that just left me speechless. I was floored, and I was kind of geeking out a little bit. I won't lie.
Well, I have to say, my first experience walking across the Capitol Hill, I don't know if it was aura that I was feeling or if it was the polyester shirt that I had on, but my neck was burning like crazy, and it wasn't even hot outside. So I didn't know if they tried to pepper spray me on the cooler, I didn't know it, or if they had some kind of chemicals coming out the grass when I was walking by.
Right.
They knew I was on campus, and they said, "Hey, you got to keep it." I don't know what it was, but my neck was burning real bad when I walked across Capitol Hill.
Yeah. When I went to DC, the same experience. I was a chaperone for the program, and we went to Capitol Hill. I mean, you could just feel the history coming from Capitol Hill.
I definitely concur.
And you felt kind of a sense of belonging, I guess, and a sense of dysfunction a little bit. But you can kind of get a sense of this is where everything takes place. So it's a fascinating experience, absolutely.
We would definitely have to dedicate a show. Oh, wait a minute. We will have one of our COE representatives chime
in December.
Yes, in December.
Yes.
And so hopefully we can get her to share what that dynamic is like
24/7
working on Capitol Hill and working with legislators, senators, congressmen, congresswomen, et cetera, and maybe share her experiences as a TRiO alumni and as a TRiO advocate.
Absolutely. And just to give you a sneak peek, Rod did bring up the guest that we're having in December is Miss Angelica Villalpando from the Council of Opportunity and Education. She'll be speaking to us regarding public relations and TRiO in the government. So we're going to have a fantastic show in December. And then our next week's show, we will have Mr. Andy Mason coming live here on Hound Waves on Let's Talk TRiO. He's a former staff of the Upward Bound program, so he's going to speak to us a little bit about his experiences, his knowledge, and all of that good jazz.
His infamous song, Streets of Portales.
It was playing like right before we came in, Rod.
Nice.
We come in at 6 o'clock. It was about 20 minutes before it was playing.
Nice. Shout out to Mr. Andy.
Yeah, shout out to Andy. So we're going to wrap this show up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. You've been listening to Let's Talk TRiO here on Hound Waves, Portales, New Mexico. We're happy to be on the air, and we're ready to return next week with our special guest, Mr. Andy Mason.
And we are excited. I think you already said that. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. It's been an honor to have you on the show, to be a part of the show, to be a part of the party. And we definitely hope that you would chime in next week. Back to you, DJ JMO.
All right, so we are going to part. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but we will be here next week. We will be here to accompany you on this 6 to 7:30 time slot. Same time, same channel. And now we're going to depart with a song. Actually, we're going to depart with two songs because, Rod, you're going to play your song as well. You're not going to leave me out here like this.
Okay, I'll play
So
my song.
just because Mr. Bryant Gomez, he said he was a Legend of Zelda fan, I have to dedicate this song to him. It's by the One-Ups. Some of you may or may not be familiar with the One-Ups. A great band, great jazz band. They're really, really good. And there I found it. There it is, the One-Ups with Mountain Fortress Delta 7 from The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And after that, Rod will play his song, and then we're out. So you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you all so much.
Peace.